Hi, everyone. This chapter is probably one of my favorites in the Bible, and it's John chapter 8. And so let me get myself out of the way. It has one of the most profound, no, there's so many lessons in here. So let's just get started with it. Okay, so early in the morning, he came again into the temple. And all the people came unto Jesus, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. They caught her red handed. So I just want to check this word. Okay. Yeah, of course. So let's read through it. They say unto him, Master, Jesus, they're addressing Jesus. She was taken in adultery. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what do you say? Now, you already know the story. Jesus is going to go against the law. He's going to break the law. I don't care how you want to dance around the situation. He's going to break the law of Jehovah and Moses. He is not going to allow this woman to be stoned. That is horrible. He's breaking the law of Jehovah right there. Why would he break his father's own law? Because it's not his father's law. It's not. His father is completely different. Okay? So, we have to understand what's going on here. After years, I have finally been taught the fullness of this story, and that's why I'm bringing it to you, and taught by the Spirit. Okay, so they said to him, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So this is this is a phrase that we use today in modern language. Drawing a line in the sand. It's drawing a line in the sand. And I have just learned the revelation of this. Okay, so drawing a line in the sand. Let me give you the full scope of this story, which is something that you can only learn after years of studying scripture and seeing things. So the Pharisees brought this woman to Jesus. If you can picture that they're all standing on this sand lot. And they are all now standing in a circle around this woman. The idea here is this is an arena. The word arena is the word sand. An arena is a place for a competition. It's a place for sport. It's a place for games. It is a place where everyone is hot. Think of the desert sand. Desert sand. And when I'm talking about hot, I am talking about very passionate, but quick to anger, and almost in a violent atmosphere. Sport, it's game, it's the hunt. Everybody was out. There's a bloodlust here. Everybody is out for this woman's blood. Truly, because they are so accustomed to stoning people left and right. And there is a bloodlust here. And it's the thrill of the hunt. This is totally what this situation is. They are standing on the sand, which means arena, in the hot desert. Everyone is sweating. Everybody is ripe for the hunt, the bloodlust. Now, even the woman has shown some of this hunting behavior. So can you picture this atmosphere? She's an adulterer. She's showing more of that hunting, testosterone, heated sport also. This is the whole setting of this game. And nobody that I know of can tell you why Jesus stooped down and with his finger he wrote in the sand, as though he heard them not. Finally, I have learned what this means. I just want to look at the words in. There it is. I tell you, the Spirit is so good. Do you see what's underneath the language here? A wave, a swell of the sea or of the lake. Jesus is drawing a channel in the sand. He's drawing a line in the sand, you guys. He is making a way for refreshing and living waters to come in. This is symbolic. He's making a way to cool down these people. And there are two things that come with the cooling, refreshing, living waters that he was making a channel for with his finger in the sand, drawing the line in the sand. It is compassion of the heart, because this is where the living waters spring from. It's three things. It's a perspective. It is a vision different than what they know right now. What they know right now is hunt. What they know right now is obedience. It is also, the third thing, is the courage, the spine to stand up against the prevailing law. This is what he's bringing into that arena when he is drawing a way for the living waters to come into the canal with the finger motion here. It's those three things. A different perspective. It's compassion, and it's courage to stand against the law. It's a spine. It's a heart and a spine and an eye. Because if you go look up fountain of living waters is what Jesus is. If you go look up fountain in Hebrew, you're going to find that's what the word eyeball means. It's a different perspective. This is renewing of the mind that I was talking about in the last video. You need to renew your thinking. He's standing up against the law. He's bringing in compassion and vision for these people. It could be a different way, he's telling them. It doesn't have to be this bloodlust, thirsty, violent act of sport. Okay, so I love it. I love it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin amongst you, let him first cast a stone at her. All of a sudden, you guys, revelation dawns. Oh, I know I've committed sin. This could be my fate. Next time, they could choose me to put in the center of this arena. What would I want everybody else to do to me? He cast doubt against their principles, against their perspective, against their hardened hearts, which is what the law does to you. And when they heard it, they which heard it, being convicted by what? The law? Did the law say, did they decide to go with the law and say, no, our law says we have to do it this way? No. The truth came forward. And they were convicted by their own conscience, their heart resonated with what Jesus was saying. Their heart resonated because guess what? This is where the truth of God's will, God's desire, is written. He would never write, stone the lady. He would write, forgive the lady. Have mercy upon the lady. Their conscience told them what was right. Their conscience superseded the law. As it does today. Always, always, always. Your heart and your conscience is going to supersede the law of Jehovah. Therefore, it cannot be the highest authority. There is another God writing something else in your heart. Your heart does not say stone. Your heart does not say do not covet. Your heart does not say keep holy the Sabbath day. Your heart says do unto others as you would have done unto you. Love everybody as yourself. That's it. That's it. And that's not a law. You cannot command somebody to love. You have to renew their minds to get them to love everyone without prejudice, everyone without sport, everyone without violence, everyone without heated anger. Everyone's got to give up the hunt on everybody else for their sins because everybody is guilty of something or another. Everybody has wronged their neighbor in one way or another, unless you find the truth. Once you erase all of the standards, conditions set forth by law, you can then, and only then, listen to your heart and conscience. Romans 2. So, they all left, knowing that Jesus was right. Brought in, just dropped a seed. Brought in just a little pathway, just a narrow gate in order to let them out of the situation. And they took it, hook, line, and sinker, because their conscience didn't truly want to stone this woman. Their heart didn't truly want death by their own hand. They started to wake up to what was actually correct. So, it's a sad, sad day for Christianity because they are the Pharisees of the story. Now, they say they would never stone somebody. Yes, they do. Let me show you something. Though they would never pick up a stone, death and life are in the power of the tongue. They will talk about the wicked sinners. They would talk about the unelect. They will talk about the poor other religions. They will talk about the poor sinners. We tried to save them and help them and get them to heaven. You are guilty of killing somebody else. It is the same energy, the sport, the hunt, the condemnation. It's the same energy. Your tongue won't actually kill somebody, but it does kill their spirit. Even if you don't say it to their face, you have put it out into the universe. And that energy is death. That energy is negativity. It takes away their light. Piece by piece by piece. And you think it doesn't work that way. It does. You have to speak always by the truth of your heart. by the truth of your heart, nobody is guilty. Nobody is more guilty than you. How can you condemn? How can you play at somebody else's expense? Because next time it could be you, and you are killing them with even your thought and your idea of it. Jesus said, if you think in your heart, if you lust in your heart, you don't even have to say the word. That's how powerful the energy is coming from your body. What does Jesus say? I can't remember. Oh, right here it is. Yeah. That whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. Whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. Which means fool, Raka does. Whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger. So if you're looking at somebody and saying, oops, you are a sinner. Don't do that. You're being stupid. You're being a fool. That's killing somebody with your tongue. And then you're in danger of hellfire yourself because everything's a reflection of you. Okay, so let's go to Romans 2. Okay, this is the second most important book. Okay. There is no respect of persons with God. Okay, here it is. For as many as have sinned without the law shall perish without the law. Do you guys understand that? That if there's a Gentile, because this is all about the Gentiles, the people who do not follow religion, okay? They're walking around on the street and you think they're in jeopardy of judgment by the throne of God. This says the exact opposite. For as many as have sinned without the law shall also perish without law. They cannot be judged by it. It's only those who have sinned in the law that shall be judged by the law. That is so huge. It's this system that you have put yourself in. And what it actually is you're judging yourself because you think that's sinful behavior. Okay? This is what Paul talks about all throughout Romans, is that you are warring against your own flesh now because that thing has been defined as sin by the law of your religion, and now it's become the forbidden fruit. And so you war at yourself. Should I? Shouldn't I? Can I? Can't I? Okay, if you didn't believe that way, you wouldn't believe that way about other people either. It's a faulty concept, and I have many, many videos about this. When the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law. How are they fulfilling the law if they don't even have the law? They are listening to their heart, and their heart is saying, do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. Love everybody. That's how they fulfill the law, by not even being in the law, by not even knowing the law. They are listening to their heart. This is how you fulfill it. They are a law unto themselves. They don't even have to worry. They don't even have to think twice. It's you who have been given the knowledge of evil that has to think twice. Which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness. What law? The law is summed up by one thing, love. Love. So where is it written? In your heart and in your conscience. That's what's going to tell you what's right and wrong. So when you think you took the Lord's name in vain and you think you're guilty, well, if you think you are guilty, you are. But you're not in God's eyes or in Jesus' eyes. If you worship a false idol because there's something that's so magnificent on this planet and you just can't help but be in awe of it and look at it every day, if you think that makes you guilty, it does. But if you don't think it makes you guilty, it doesn't. Then you're not guilty. It's a faulty system. If the first covenant had been faultless, there would be no room for the second covenant. It's a faulty system. It's all a deception of the mind. It's all the knowledge of good and evil, and it's a deception by the serpent, okay? In the day when God shall judge the secrets of men by Jesus Christ, according to my gospel, behold, thou art called a Jew and restest in the law, and make thy boast of God. No, substitute the word Christian. You rest in the law and you make your boast of God. Well, I know God and I know truth. Not so. You know his will and approve the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law. You think you know his will, right? This is why you judge other people, because you know the law of God, the will of God. You think, no, God just wants you to be free, get rid of all that faulty. Listen to your heart and conscience, and you'll never hurt another human being, which is truly all that God wants. You'll never judge a human being, even with your tongue. Even with your tongue. Even with your heart, you would never judge another human being or their behavior. God doesn't judge their behavior. This is the carnal law we're talking about that Jesus came to end. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just love Romans 2. The name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. Yeah, as you can see today, there are people who know better, that God would never judge people or send people to hell. It's just common sense. And because God has to be the goodest, that's his definition, to be the best of all, right? And so if you would never send people to hell, God certainly couldn't. So these concepts need to settle in. So this is what I'm going to venture to say. If you are religious, there's too much heat, passion, zealous feeling, okay? And you need to relax a little bit and let the living waters come in and soothe and refresh and give you a new perspective and change your thinking and give you the courage to stand up against the law and give you some compassion. Okay, that's what Jesus was bringing in with the channel in the arena. Okay, that's all. We'll see what the next video brings. Thank you for watching.